there.
Yeah.
Number two, I want to also know the role Prophet Muhammad played in every aspect of human life, which are deficiencies in what Jesus did when it comes to marriage, when it comes to inheritance, when it comes to divorce, when it comes to almost everything that occurs in our day-to-day life, or daily activities that we all go through as Christians. As you know, when you go to church and they are blessing marriage, you see it to be more of Western culture as compared to being a Christian culture. When somebody passes on, it is either you are going to see it more of a culture something, or let's say the Western way. These things are part of our everyday life. Yet, Jesus said nothing about those things, how Christians should organize these things. How then do you say that he's a complete person that deserves your fellowship?
Okay, that's fine. So it's untrue for you to say Jesus never said anything about marriage. You said that one in your opening statement. In Matthew chapter 19, Jesus talked about a marriage. Jesus actually talked about marriage in Matthew chapter 19. So let me read you what Jesus said about marriage and other things that maybe you want us to talk about. So in Matthew chapter 19, Jesus said, okay, verse 9, I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except of sexual immorality and marries another, commits adultery. And whoever marries her who is divorced commits adultery. Is that okay? And in verse 4, and he answered and said to them, have you not read that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So then they are no longer two but one flesh. Therefore what God has joined together, let no man separate. So Jesus actually condemned divorce. The only grounds he said we can divorce is when you see your partner in the act of fornication or adultery. It's also as to how we are to contract the marriage. Jesus never talked about that. Jesus left that the Bible did not come to instruct us on how we should live our the Bible didn't come to the purpose of the Bible is to prepare man for eternity. That's the purpose of the Bible and Christianity. So unlike Judaism, where everything was given to them, everything, even how they should how they should when a woman gives birth, how they should treat the woman. If a man does this, how they should. If someone dies, no. The Bible, the purpose of the Bible is not about how we are to organize our other activities, organize our daily life in the society. That one, the Bible, that God has given us freedom. That wherever we are, we all have diverse culture. We should use our culture to organize ourselves. But even in that culture, we should ensure that whatever we are doing honors God. So the way we Akans organize our funerals may be different from the way the Agans do theirs, or the way the houseless people do theirs. But even in that, if there are any element in that practices that contradict the will of God, we are to effect changes in those areas. So the Bible didn't come to give us a whole lot of laws about do's and don'ts about everything that we do in our society. For that one, God has given us the option, the freedom for us to decide for ourselves. So in certain cultures, if you want to marry, you just have to take the flower to the lady's parents, and you have your wife. But to other cultures, you have to pay some amount. God has given us that freedom in Christianity.
Okay.
So Christianity only talks about.
Now that you mentioned,
Christianity talks about marriage. But the Christianity doesn't show you how to do the marriage.
Okay.
It's the culture that you are in that determines how you are to do that. Okay. But if there are any element in that culture that contradicts any clear teaching of the Bible, then that one we are supposed to avoid. Like in my culture, in my Akan culture, I can marry many wives. Exactly. There's no limitation. But per the Christian principles that we know from the Bible, how God organized marriage from the beginning, God desire for man was one man is to one woman.
That's
God. That's God's plan. That's a topic for another day.
For another day. Because if we move into that one.
And about funeral too is about your culture, how they do their